Like Abraham had to give up his son of promise, sometimes God will test you and he will ask you to give up your dream, so to speak. I was raised in a family of teachers. My father was the high school principal in our city for years. My sister's a teacher. My daughter's a teacher. I was setting out to be a teacher, and I graduated from high school. I had scholarships. It was all set. It wasn't that I felt pressured to be that. I wanted to be that. I wasn't thinking teaching at a meeting like this. I was thinking about teaching in public school. And I remember the conversation that I had with the Lord, and it was I'm also a crier, which is not very cool. I had a conversation with the Lord. It was very emotional for me. And I knew what God was doing. He was pulling me to Bible college. And if you had seen the Bible college in our city, you wouldn't have been impressed at that time. And the buildings were old, and I just didn't want to go there. And I had a conversation with God and said, okay, God, I give up my dream of teaching. I give it up to you. And I walked away, and I went to Bible school. And I didn't go there to be a preacher. I did everything else. I helped, I served, I did whatever I could. And I remember, it's in my journal somewhere. I don't remember the date, but I could look it up. I was somewhere overseas in Singapore or Australia, somewhere it was in the Pacific or Asia. And the Lord spoke to me in a hotel room and said, so you gave up teaching for me, did you? And it was 10 years into this business. And I really feel like sometimes God will ask you to lay it down, because you can get your dream or your vision in front of the will of God. I've watched this happen to so many saints where their pastor hasn't released them yet, and they look around for another minister, another pastor, another word to release them, and it's premature and it's destructive to the body. And if you will submit, Joseph had the greatest, grandest dreams of anybody in the Old Testament up till that point, and God threw him in a pit. His brothers threw him, but God was doing that. God sent him to Egypt, all to prepare. Joseph couldn't know that God was backing him into his promise. He had no idea. But if you watch Joseph, he doesn't become bitter. He just serves everybody else's dream. Potiphar's dream, the jailer's dream, and finally Pharaoh's dream. And then Joseph ends up on the throne of Egypt. And if you will be patient, and if you will submit, and if you've got such a call, work that call in your local church. If you've got such a ministry, work that ministry in your local church. Thank you.